And welcome to Dente Rigamortis. I'm Review Cultist.
And I'm Dr. Leviathan.
And we're here to discuss those internet stories, most creepy and most pasta. And apparently for the last couple of weeks, most Reddit and most NoSleep. Tonight's episode, I'm a 911 operator and Annora. So for those of you just tuning in, creepypastas are short, scary stories that get copied and pasted across the internet, like Reddit or creepypasta.wiki or forums. So go Google it, you'll get a more prolonged definition, but that's about it. So we're going to go into I'm a 911 operator, which was on the Reddit NoSleep threads. It's essentially a 911 operator in this small town, just giving us a transcript of a very fucked up or weird night they had, or call they had that one night. So, without going into full detail of word for word the transcript, they get a call. It's this guy calling about a suspicious person outside their front yard. Just standing there and behaving oddly.
They're not standing there, they're dancing.
Sorry, they're dancing.
And shit.
Yeah, they're dancing and behaving oddly. And they'd like somebody to come over and get rid of them. The person asks if their doors and windows are all locked, and they say, yeah. And then he goes to go check just to make sure, and then sees that the person...
Every time,
they look away?
Several times, he looks away, the caller looks away for just a moment, or, sometimes just a moment, sometimes a little bit longer, and every time he does, the dude behaving oddly in his front yard changes up what he's doing quite drastically.
Yeah.
I think the first thing he does is start fucking standing on his hands.
Yeah, he's standing on his hands.
Or walking on his hands, sorry.
Yeah. And so he's just really what the fuck? And the operator's trying to keep him calm, making sure that your doors are all locked. It's yeah, my door, are you the only one in the house? It's yeah, I'm the only one here. And then he looks over to the person, and the person is right there at the window staring inside, and apparently his teeth are super huge. And
yeah, I don't really understand that. Are the teeth super huge, or is the mouth super huge?
Is it just a really toothy grin?
That's a really poorly worded descriptor.
I've actually seen photos based off of this pasta that people have tried to do.
Doesn't matter.
I
not
understand,
in the story,
but it's still kind of creepy. But yeah, they always Photoshop the face.
It's still horribly just fucking vague and just horribly worded in general. It's not good wording, because any wording of a description that makes you pause and step away from reading to try and figure out what the fuck they just said is poorly written.
Yeah, but for this one, when I was reading it, I found myself
there's no excuse for it.
I don't know. I found myself thinking of visualizing this creepy dude with super large teeth at the window, which is kind of unnerving.
Okay, but he could have just said, it's not, it's just weirdly written, and it's not clear. It's it seems odds are it's trying to use something that's more commonly used, big mouth or, whatever. But, yeah, just the way it's written, it was just fucking, it was just weird. It was off.
It pulled you out of the story, or the whole thing.
Well, exactly. Like I said, it had me trying to figure out what was said or what was meant.
Yeah.
And because what was meant was not... I don't feel like what was meant was what was said.
You don't think that it was that this person's face was actually horribly out of proportion? It was just badly described by the writer.
Well, I'm not saying that it didn't look fucked up. I'm saying it was badly described.
Okay.
I'm trying to find the actual fucking wording there.
I mean, devil's advocate for this is that, the person is trying to describe this under pressure, so you could say that the character is trying to describe it and doing it poorly.
Yeah, but I'm reading a thing that
I understand.
someone... No.
Yeah.
You don't understand, because you're trying to... Oh, it's, to draw you in, to, create depth, but you still have to fucking understand it. You still have to bend to your medium, not... Like, oh, I did it so that, it wouldn't, so that you could suspend your disbelief. But you took me out of the fucking story so that you wouldn't suspend my disbelief. You see what I'm saying? You can't, you can't, you can't make it deep. Like, you can't draw me in by having me question what the fuck I just read.
Yeah. As much as you want it to be simulationist, like, this is a transcript of an actual event, you can't, like...
You have to bend to the fact that this is
being read by
this
somebody.
is a read story. You've got to read it, and you've got to read it and know what was said. Not like, oh my god, look at that. Like, you could still have your cake and eat it too, just not with this. But anywho, I'm still trying to fucking find
sorry. It's not that far down, or it's not that far
it's not
away
that
from the...
big.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just trying to find the actual wording.
Yeah.
Yes, his teeth are huge and he's still smiling. There it is. Like, his teeth are huge, his smile is huge. Like, it really is just, it leaves it, I don't know, it makes you question the words that are there.
Yeah, like the description of the thing or the person.
It's more likely that the smile is huge, not the actual teeth. Like, I mean, does he just smile with 4 teeth? Because that's fucked up. I'm not gonna argue that that's fucked up, and that would make me that would unnerve the ever living piss out of me.
Yeah,
but I highly doubt that's what he meant.
Yeah.
It's more likely that the smile is huge. Like, the grin is just, like, he's just smiling like a fucking madman. Yeah. That's more likely.
Okay.
Now, is, maybe the mouth is huge or whatever, but...
It doesn't convey... There could have been a better way of conveying that.
Exactly. It's poorly conveyed, and that poor conveyance just... It
pulled you right out.
Like I said, I was literally like, his teeth are huge, and wait, what? His teeth are huge? Or, like... It's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It would have been... He's smiling, but it's like his smile has too many teeth in it. Like, that would have been...
Yeah, like, it seems like we had, like, 2 differing things. Like, it pulled you right out of it, and I just kind of, like, walked right over it. Like, I totally...
Well, but you still thought about it.
Yeah, I mean, I visualized a creepy, like, buck tooth, like, more, like, less teeth, more, like, size. Kind of, like, some horrible, like... I don't want to say mongoloid kind of like face, but yeah, no. But yeah, like that kind of like, I'm just picturing like a really like disturbing, like distorted face. And like, yeah, I'm just like visualizing this creepy, horrible thing.
See me, I'm just picturing, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be like just a cartoonishly wide, well, yeah, not even cartoonishly wide, but like...
A very, like, ear-to-ear grin kind of thing. And so anyways, so this guy is, like, right up at the window, and it's shaking its head, and because it heard what they're saying, and it's like, he's not alone in the house, and then the guy's just like, sir, dot, 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 sir, and then it essentially ends with that.
Well, it does end.
Yeah, it ends. Like, that's the end of the transcript. So, we're left with this, like... that's exactly what it is. It's just a transcript of a really fucked up night, or, like, night call. And we're left to wonder what the hell this thing is until part 2, which is a couple of weeks, like a week or 2 later, the guy has pulled some strings in his department and gotten a copy of the report, and has obviously, like, tampered with it so that the cop who went in to investigate isn't named or anything like that. And, like, he could lose his job for posting this, but he's doing it anyway because it's really fucked up. And also, they do actually, like, give it a little bit of, like, world information in that, like, they actually the police had a public warning out and put a curfew down for the area where in this neighborhood, in Ashland, apparently. And it's just like, don't go out at night. If you are out at night in this area, you will be arrested or like dealt with by the cops. Cops have been told to exercise force, blah, blah, blah. If you see anybody acting strangely in your house, report it immediately. Keep all your doors and windows locked. So it's like this, it's become this thing in this town. after a week of this, and then the guy goes into the actual report of the. Oh,
See, well, there's a lot to just question here. Like, first off, like, will be held in question in regards to suspicious cult activity.
Yeah, the cult thing, I was like, what? But it does explain a little bit of it at the very end, but it doesn't really.
Well,
really
that's not something you would put in the warning.
Yeah,
that's something you would just talk about with everyone you found out after dark.
Yeah. I wouldn't have seen cult activity. I would have been like, if you see large groups or like a gang.
Not even that.
No?
It's not even that. That's not... Because, okay, you find someone out after midnight. The cops are gonna bring them in just because, to keep them, to protect them.
Yeah, at the very least.
Well, that's the first thing.
Yeah.
To protect citizenry. So, you're out after dark. We've declared that it's fucking dangerous as fuck to be out after dark. So we're gonna get you safe.
Yeah.
Secondly, since you're out after dark, we're gonna question you
why you were out after dark.
Exactly. So you gotta, basically you gotta explain yourself. But they wouldn't have in the warning about the cult activity.
Yeah, no.
Not, like, that just seems like a little too much fucking information. Seems like the writer's trying to shoehorn information in places where it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Secondly, police barriers placed around the perimeter of the quarry in the northwest Ashland. What? What quarry?
Apparently there's a quarry. Well, yeah, I know, yeah.
But we don't know about it yet.
Yeah.
Why?
I see it as like they're giving information. Like it's a notification to the town, so the townfolk know about this quarry and the neighborhood.
Okay, the townfolk do know about the quarry, and they probably know about the neighborhood because this is a fucking small town.
Yeah,
like maybe I don't know, saying stay away from it.
Yeah,
but like just saying, oh, there's a barrier. It's not saying stay away from it.
Yeah.
For your own safety.
To be fair, barrier does mean, it kind of tend to imply, like, stay away.
Yes.
But I mean, also...
You have to explicitly say this shit.
Yeah, I know.
Just, like...
There's, like, I don't know, I found it, like, it seemed like... Okay, when I first read it, it was like, oh, this actually isn't too bad, like... But then there are some glaring details that are either, like, left out or, like, added in that don't really make a whole lot of sense for an official report.
The dude writing this, or dudette, if you will, writing this, is trying to use this announcement to shoehorn in information. Mm-hmm. And it's like, it's just really fucking obvious that that's the case. Also, I don't even think it's a murder, is it? It's just a disappearance?
Yeah, they don't know. Yeah, because nobody goes...
One disappearance doth not give you cause to put out a curfew and fucking lock down a town after fucking nightfall.
Yeah.
Like, I've never heard of anything like this.
Yeah.
Ever. I mean, I'm sure it's
probably happened, but I don't know.
Even that I'm doubtful to say, but hey,
it's a big world.
Maybe it has, but that just seems like the exception rather than the rule.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. I would be more, like, one instance, I would be more inclined to question, like, as we get to later, I'd be more likely to question the officer's, eyewitness account, as opposed to lock the fucking town down.
Yeah. So going back, let's
go forward
into the report by the officer. The officer arrives on the scene.
Officer #redacted.
Yeah.
I kind of want to just get the fucking UFO and conspiracy theory communities just with fucking hop on Twitter, #redacted, and then just fucking a bunch of bars.
Yeah. #redacted. Where is he? Anyway, where'd he go? Anyway, so #redacted goes onto the scene, checks it out, looks like all the lights are off. And I think he said checks I don't know if he checks the doors or not. They don't seem to be broken into at the very least.
Yeah, he checks at least one door. I know this much.
And then he goes to check out the front window because he sees footprints and handprints by the window, but nothing seems to be broken into. And then he goes around the back and sees other footprints and handprints And there's, again, no doors or windows on the first floor broken into, but it looks like somebody shimmied up the piping up to the roof, to the third story. To the attic.
No. It looks like they climbed up the siding, I'm pretty sure.
The siding, yeah. Yeah, they climb up the siding to the third floor, to the attic, and the attic does show signs of a break-in. However, not having any legal, warrant to go into this house... and not getting any reply from inside, he decides to just drive away, or drive back to the office. But not before he...
and one of the commenters was actually as smart as me on this one, and by that I mean they had common knowledge, which is apparently more rare than common sense, contrary to the fucking name. Signs of a break and enter... give an officer of the law cause to enter.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Also, the 911 call. I'm pretty sure would be enough cause.
Yeah.
Because there was a call for a fucking reason.
Especially after, that call. When we heard no sign from
the cop doesn't know about the call.
That's true, yeah.
The cop didn't receive the call.
Yeah.
But there was a 911 call. There's signs of... something fucked up happening. There's signs of break and enter.
Yeah.
So there's, just with all of this, there is more than enough reason for the officer to be like, alright, well, if you don't open your door, I'm going to kick it down because...
Pretty much, yeah. That's how
this is my job.
Exactly.
I am just doing my job. Now, I'm sure he wouldn't spell it out like that, but seriously, that is what he would be doing.
Yeah,
he would not just be doing his job, and...
He doesn't. He walks...
he's just like...
I mean, to be fair, I think it's also because, as he's driving away, he reports seeing a creepy, smiling face that's like...
Well, yes, but this is the author not knowing what the...
No, I understand.
Not understanding what is and isn't expected of a police officer.
Yeah.
And... maybe a little bit trying to shoehorn that in, that driving away, looking in the rearview mirror experience that was supposed to... that's weird, supposed to terrify me, but
at the same time,
everything else is just infuriating because...
Seriously.
Cops are expected to do their jobs.
Also, if the cop saw that, on the way back, I'm pretty sure he should stop and go back. And maybe call in some backup. Because, there's obviously people there.
Because something just fucking happened.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, also, at the very least, you've got them on a prank call to 911, which is in itself illegal.
Yeah.
Because someone clearly called 911. Mm-hmm. You knock on the door, no answer.
Yeah.
The doors are locked, but the house is clearly occupied.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
every window. Seriously. Yeah.
Even if you weren't suspecting the cause of the fucking call to tie into that fucking face in every window and a bun in every oven, I mean, again, this is either the worst cop in the world or the worst written cop in the world.
Yeah, exactly. And, I mean, him being a smart horror character doesn't actually really save him at the end of the story, as it turns out, because shortly after the investigation and stuff, he goes missing, and his wife is the only one, was the last person to see him, and she says that he was muttering, so they're going to go investigate that house some more. And it's why?
Yeah.
Also, I think the tie-in with that quarry thing that we got in the report thing, I think they do mention that, some of the footprints and stuff were coming from the quarry that was, 20 feet behind the property.
Who the fuck lives 20 feet from a goddamn quarry?
Shit. Not even, aside from, the noise issues, structurally, your land isn't sound.
Yeah.
So there's a good chance, as somebody who's had situations with that kind of stuff, I know for a fact that shit isn't sound. Or there'd be concern for in terms of a construction crew doing that.
Build a fucking house there.
Exactly.
You just would. First off,
the property would be condoned. No, the property
would be owned by the owner of the quarry.
Exactly. Yeah.
So they wouldn't build a fucking house there because, hey, we might have to dig it up.
Yeah.
Because,
or there's
that
a risk of
natural
collapse.
resource that we've dug a fucking quarry for, yeah, there might be more of it under the fucking house. Like, I mean, yeah, obviously that's just fucking retarded.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's really pretty dumb. Like 20 feet away
Apparently it's not obvious, but whatever.
Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, we're left with this. I mean, and apparently the guy's going to keep up tabs and stuff like that on this whole thing. But that was 6 months ago, so.
And zero fucks were given.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I actually did. That's the end of the story. I did really enjoy these two pastas. The first one, I actually listened to by somebody on YouTube, and it was a fantastic rendition. Like, it included everything. So it really kind of suckered me into.
But that could have been they could have done any 911 call, and if they'd have done it well, you'd probably been happy with it.
Probably.
I mean, don't get me wrong, part one of this little fucking nightmare is infinitely better than part two, because part two is where, the biggest fucking plot holes lie, and it's where the biggest fucking stupids are. Honestly, yeah, it really just is. No matter how good or bad you think part one is, it falls apart in part two. Completely just...
When you start picking... Yeah, because you can't...
It turns from, if you don't like part one, it turns from wet newspaper into fucking water. And if you did like it, it turns from dry newspaper into fucking water. Honestly, part one, yeah, it's doable. I mean, it's clearly written by someone who doesn't have as firm a grasp of, the writing craft as I would prefer. I mean, huge teeth. I can't...
Really
It got my goat.
Yeah.
It pissed me off. It's just because it's I really don't expect that they meant huge teeth. And if they did, then... I don't know. There should have been something
There should be some more description than just...
Yeah, because if I saw a dude with huge teeth and, a properly proportioned mouth for those huge teeth, you gotta bet I'd be saying more to the 911 operator than huge teeth.
Yeah, that's all
I'd have said, man, that guy has a fucking mouth to devour civilizations. Or something.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that's fucked up. Or Jesus Christ, he's got 2 teeth in his face and they are fucking huge. Something. Not just huge teeth.
Huge teeth. So huge.
Yeah.
Huge teeth. Small mouth. Wow. Anyway.
But yeah.
Yeah, no, it's...
Part 1 with the 911 call, I can see how if, you were to listen to that, it would actually be pretty cool, because it's pretty easy to fake a 911 call, to fake all of that shit.
The acting was also really good on it, but yeah.
Well, yeah, but again,
that's mainly just production value of the YouTube channel you're doing.
Exactly.
So.
And if you're going to do a 911 call, you do it right. You don't half-ass that shit because it's going to ruin the whole thing. You either don't do it at all or you do it right.
Yeah.
But yeah, part 2 just fucking...
There are a lot of plot holes in part 2. Although I will...
Part 2 is just so much common knowledge, just completely fucking
and the way
unknown.
And the way the cop reacts is just not how a cop would react in that situation. He's
exactly. This is the common knowledge thing.
Yeah.
That's not anywhere near proper police procedure. I don't care where the cops are. That's just not how you behave when your job is literally to protect the citizenry.
Yeah.
You at least make a half-assed attempt to.
Yeah.
Just I'm gonna go now because it's time for my stories on the TV. I don't know.
Time to get my donuts.
Yeah.
And coffee. like, I won't deny that this one, the second one, has a lot of plot holes, and the first one has a few. I enjoyed both of them in that it gave me, it gives you the scenario, but, like, leaves you wanting more to know about what's going on in this little town. Like, it feels like this is the start of something bigger.
Yes, but the first one... Okay, the second one, it fucks up so much that it doesn't add anything.
No.
Because it really fucking doesn't. I mean, what it adds is a house where there's a face in every window.
Yeah. And,
That's
and
the
things coming out of
biggest
this
thing
story, apparently, but...
Yeah, but that's not even that. It's fucking 20 feet from the house. No, you're too fucking stupid. That's not a quarry. That's a fucking gopher hole.
Yeah.
Because you're clearly blowing shit out of proportion.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I will grant that the idea behind the first one is acceptable. Not really my cup of tea, but I can see how someone can like it. But there's nothing added in the second part. The first part is better without the second part.
Yes.
Okay, I just need you to agree with me on that.
I will agree with you on that. Like in the first one, and actually that's probably
I'm not going to try and change your mind on the first bit because, like I said, I can see how you can like it.
Yeah.
And
but I will agree.
The writing and logic isn't absolutely fucking horrible.
Yeah.
But the second one is...
I was reminded of the last one we did where there was a sequel. There was a sequel to it, and I was like, "Oh, you made it worse." This one wasn't as bad as that, but it was still bad.
I don't know. The second part just makes... The second part is... It ruins what could have been a neat concept.
Yeah, with the inconsistencies, I could see it.
Like, it's again, it's written seemingly by a moron. And I don't want anything to do with something written by a moron. Because, like...
They were trying to shoehorn in all this stuff, especially since it seemed
I'm
like the guy
average or above average intelligence. If something is written by someone who's a fucking either moron or an ignorant individual, because, hey, you know what? Some people just don't have the experience to have the knowledge. I admit, I accept that. But if it's written by one of either of these two groups... It's going to be boring and anger-inducing to me.
Yeah.
So I don't want to read it. Whereas the first bit didn't piss me off. I mean, it had that weird that one moment, but that's one moment.
Yeah. Although it did bug you a lot, it seemed. But...
Regardless, it really didn't bug me as much as I'm letting on.
Okay.
But it does fucking beg to differ. So yeah, this... Like I say, the second part just fucking completely...
It crumbles the significance of the first
At no
part.
point was I sucked in for the second part. The second part, I was all like, what the fuck is wrong with your head? You know? Like...
I was initially kind of...
Did your parents and your aunties and your uncles and your grandparents and your older siblings, did they all fucking drop you on your head as a kid? That's what part 2 made me do.
Okay.
Part 1, I was like, you kind of fucked up there. Whatever, let's see what else you got.
Yeah.
Part 2, I was like, you're a fucking idiot. Like, this is horrible.
Yeah, they tried to hammer in a bunch of stuff where they should have maybe... Like, the guy seemed like he was going to, like, do more stuff with it. So, like, maybe space it out a bit. But... Anyway, and that's probably the reason why there isn't a reading of the second part of the story on YouTube anywhere I could find. The first one is done like multiple times by multiple people, so
yeah, I feel like I don't know, maybe part 2 being police report, and then part 3 could have been like a news report,
yeah, like an article or something like that in the daily in the local paper
or on the fucking TV, whatever.
Yeah,
like it. Yeah, maybe that would have saved it. Maybe, yeah. Maybe fucking knowledge of common law enforcement practice would have made it infinitely better too.
Yeah, like maybe like the guy called in somebody, and then we got like a dispatch report or something. I don't know. Like it was
like he could have fucking search the entire house, and then fucking, like, there's nothing.
And then as he's driving
And then as he's driving away, the fucking, like, that
Boom.
one change right there
Fixes
makes it, would have made it actually pretty fucking awesome, because he searched the house. He knew it was empty. Now, as a reader, we don't know, like, okay, also, just don't shoehorn that cult into the fucking...
Yeah, the cult thing made no sense to me.
It doesn't make any sense.
It's not even like, yeah, you saw some a ton of faces in the windows. That's not a cult.
No.
Like...
But anywho.
Yeah.
So, yeah, have him search the house and then drive off, see all the faces. If we don't have the cult shoehorn in the, fucking warning, we don't know if it's fucking, like, supernatural. We don't know if it's a cult.
Or if it's
we
a
don't
gang,
know if it's... Yeah, we don't know what the fuck it is. It could be anything. And that's a great place to leave off, because it's like, what the fuck is it? It could be anything. Where I'm out of words.
Yeah.
Goddamn. And now you want to know.
Exactly.
But... Yeah,
it started off, and then... Bleh.
Yeah, like I said, I can accept the 911 call. I can understand why people like it. Wasn't really my cup of tea, but that's because...
That's just your preference.
Exactly.
I was actually... The first one was like, again, I was kind of being reminded by... I can't remember the movie's title, but it was like a 911 movie where, like, you're in almost the entire movie, you're sitting beside Halle Berry as this 911 operator dealing with a kidnapping case. So I kind of, it's not identical to that, but I got like the same kind of like, that was like becoming like kind of popping into my head as I was reading the first version of it. So I was getting into that because you were seeing like, again, you're like sitting there with the operator the whole time and they're helpless about what's going on the other side of this line. So.
See, I wasn't with the operator, I was actually with the homeowner.
Oh, okay. Differing views.
Exactly. Yeah. But that's one of the things that works about a 911 call.
Yeah.
Is that, some people might be with the operator, some people might be with the caller. It's,
Yeah, like, it would be really fucked up if, like, you're in the middle of, like, you're with this call with this person, and they just drop off the line after reporting all that creepy shit. So, but, yeah, I can see on the other side, like, you're being helpless because you're stuck in your house, and then you think you're alone in the house, and then you hear something upstairs.
Well, and you're on the phone with people who are gonna get you help.
Exactly.
So, like, you're so...
And you're worried...
You're just time away from help.
Yeah.
You've done everything you can. Now you just have to, like...
Survive.
Stay safe.
Yeah.
And, yeah...
And you think you're safe because all the doors and windows are open, are locked. And then the thing on the other side of the window, like your safety barrier, starts shaking its head because it heard you saying that everything's fine.
Well, that's not even it. It's just the fact that, then the call ends. And it's like, oh, okay, he wasn't fucking safe.
Yeah, exactly.
There's... Like I said, I don't care for any of this myself, but I won't castrate someone for liking the first part. Mm-hmm. But
and I will agree that
if you like the whole damn thing, that's cause for castration.
So I'm just gonna walk away now. No, I did enjoy parts of the second one, but yeah, it has a lot of holes.
Well, yeah,
so it isn't really worth listen to the first one.
We've gone over this. Liking ideas in something doesn't mean you like it.
It's not worth. Yeah,
well, no, it doesn't mean you like it.
Yeah,
at all. It means that you had one neat idea, but you buried it in all of this shit.
Yeah,
like I'm under the impression that you don't like the second half, but you liked.
Ideas in it.
Some of it.
Like I liked the idea of this like town essentially there's something bigger going on in this town. In this story, but like unfortunately the second part gives you but the second part of the story is like just done it's executed poorly.
Yeah, so, it's so poorly written that no, you don't actually like it. You just like some of what it brought up.
Yeah.
And even then, a lot of what it brought up was shit.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I just said I said my piece about it. So,
well, I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to piss on your opinion because I'm pretty sure what you liked in the second half, I didn't hate. Mm-hmm. I just need you to agree that
I will agree.
As a whole, it's not worth it.
Yeah, as a whole, the second story is not worth it at all.
And I've already made you agree that the second half ruins the first half, and the first half, I'll admit, is palatable.
Yeah.
Will
we agree though that the first I do recommend the first part of the story, or at the very least the reading of it.
I don't, because it's not to my taste, and I
Fair
can't
enough,
recommend.
yeah.
But again, I'm not gonna shit on your recommendation of it
Okay.
because I can see how people can like it.
All right. So recommend the first part for me, not the second one, and just not recommendation.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll move on to Annora after that lengthy discussion. Annora is an email sent to Bree, who's a friend of Annora's from way back when, I guess. And Annora is this figure skater who...
Yeah, so already they've captured my interest.
Yeah. So I'm not going to go into full detail about this one because, again, there's not a whole lot really here aside from getting backstory and exposition about Annora and her life. Essentially, she was a figure skater. She was in the finals one time, and she was checking out her. She decided to check herself out online, like Google herself, and she found a wiki page of her. And it said that she was going to win the finals that year or something like that, and she did.
I'm pretty sure it said that she had won it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But it wasn't until tomorrow, so how could she already...
Yeah. So she, since then, she got, her life got better. She got, a new personal trainer, and they moved out to, Switzerland or something like that. And... Again, life got better, and she'd always check the wiki page to see how things were going. And when she was really nervous about this one tournament thing with Bree, because Bree was supposed to be the one that was going to win it, she tried to tamper with the wiki page by making her own account and tampering with it, saying she was going to win. And when she refreshed it, it said that she was going to she's a
Annora Petrova is a selfish little bitch who is going to get what she deserves.
Yeah. And the next day, when the tournament thing happens, the Bree breaks her ski, or her ski. Wow! Can you tell I'm a fan of figure skating? Breaks her skate that slashes Annora's forehead, and everybody accuses her of tampering with.
It was her fault because she had her skates earlier.
So she got what she deserved. Everybody started saying, and it's like, what? Anyway, so life kind of goes downhill after that because,
and because it was clearly her, and there's no need for any investigation as to what she did to her fucking skates.
Yep.
She was immediately banned from any further competitions everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah, no one even asked for her side of the story. So, no investigation into this.
Yep. And then she
find that to be a little queer.
Yeah. And then
Sergey drops her.
Yep.
And yada yada yada. And she can't even get ice time.
Yep.
And then the page gets worse. She check it, and it says all these horrible things.
And then at one point it says that
she can't even tell you half of them, but she never tells us any of them.
Yeah. And then it says the one day that she's an orphan, and so she tries to call her parents and she calls them multiple times, and nobody picks up. She just keeps hearing laughter. And so she eventually just hangs up. And when the parents died, and the cops give her the phones, there's no calls whatsoever on those phones from her. So she's just left this person that she eventually builds herself back up. And she goes to this. She's at this tournament somewhere, and she decides out of more.
No, she's trying for a job at the ice circus. There we go. She's auditioning for the ice circus. So she checks her wiki page
out of habit and finds that she's going to die on this day.
Dun dun dun.
And it's minutes before 12, and she doesn't know what to do. She's locked herself inside of her dingy little apartment, her little hotel room. Nobody in this area speaks any English or whatever, so she's really scared. She's apologizing to Bree, and then she sends her this email with an attachment, which is the screenshot of her
of a Wikipedia
the Wikipedia page. Yeah, and then that's the end of the story. And then the Wikipedia page is a quick short blurb about how she's a brat and blah blah blah, and how she got what she deserved, and then at the end of it, it offers Bree the same kind of deal, I guess, that it gave Annora before she fucked it up. I don't know. That's kind of what I got off of it, as like a deal with the devil kind of thing. I also like it has a picture of Annora like with a skull, like kind of like looking emaciated, or like has like a skull imposed over it. I kind of expected it to like be a GIF and like and animate a little bit, but like have her like be attacked by somebody like off screen, like almost like or see somebody behind her, like a shadow pass behind her.
Well, that's implying that someone kills her.
Well, she died.
She dies. Not necessarily because someone kills her.
That's fair.
We don't know. That's the creepy part. Does the wiki page just fucking predict, or does it cause?
Is it like The Ring, where it just, causes heart attacks or whatever?
Well, or whatever. Like,
it's a creepy...
No one's there, obviously. I mean, unless, there's a murderer, but, like, there's no witness, so there's no saying, like... We don't even know if she dies.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, theoretically she does. But, again, that's theoretically. That's speculation. Yeah, that's probably how it goes, but...
Yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah, and that was just me pretty much then, I guess, imposing my own idea on it, so...
Exactly. Imposing your own idea on something, that's my realm.
Yeah. Nice.
Liking things for what they are. That's where you come in.
This one, I mean, there were some things that bugged me about the writing of it, because it's not very good. It just seemed like a lot of, I guess, somewhat needful information, but not a whole lot. The idea is interesting of like this like demon in the machine kind of thing, like offering people like predictions.
Why does it always have to be a demon?
Really? We're gonna have this discussion.
I'm just saying. It couldn't just be, fucking,
a cursed wiki page.
Doesn't even have to be a curse. Why you always gotta add the supernatural?
It's predicting things.
So?
Alright, fine.
Apparently so did Nostradamus, but does that make him a witch?
Well, I know there's some courts back in medieval times that would say yes, but...
Yeah, but let's face it, their system was flawed.
That's true. Okay, anyway. So, I saw the supernatural, you saw something else then?
I saw nothing. It's not stated anywhere that there's anything untoward going on. I mean, yeah, it's fucking predicting shit, but no one gives me any indication to believe anything except it happens. I have no evidence for anything. It happens, but I have no evidence to say what causes it in any manner.
I guess you could say that, predicting that she's going to win these things gives her confidence to win, and then, when her parents die, or when her parents, are predicted to die, the thing could have, whoever's on the other side could have, been the one to take that out, or to do that hit, essentially, or whatever. So it could be a person...
I'm not even saying that, I'm not saying it is, or... I'm not saying it is this or it is that. I'm just saying it never tells you any idea what it is at all.
It leaves it to the speculation of the audience or the reader.
It doesn't even do that. It just doesn't say.
It literally gives you the option to speculate. By not giving us information, that's what it does.
Not to me.
Okay.
Not to me. It just it leaves it as a mystery. You don't solve a mystery by speculating. You solve a mystery by examining the evidence. We are never given enough evidence to examine.
Yeah.
So it's just a mystery to me.
Okay, fine. I don't know. It leaves my mind to speculate, which I'm sure I'm not alone in that, but at the same time, if
I'm not saying you're alone in it, I'm just saying you're wrong in it.
Uh-huh. Of course. Alright, so, yeah, that was my opinion of Annora. There's an interesting idea here, but I don't know, it just seemed like there was a little too much, the writing wasn't as good as it could have been.
Yes, but this is going to be one of those rare instances where I think...
Okay, no, I'm going to...
I enjoyed it, and yes, I agree, the writing isn't good, but I think it's because it's written by someone who hasn't had the opportunity to write enough. They just need more practice.
Okay.
That being said, like, okay, yeah, I'm still going to hold that against this, just not as heavily as I would if it was just horribly written, and I thought that I don't see necessarily editing fixing this writing, because the mistakes aren't from, mistakes, they're from ignorance. Mm-hmm. They're from lack of experience. That's more accurately, or more accurate. That's what it is. It's not like I'm just a fucking shit writer. It's that I have this idea, I'm trying to make sure I get everything across, and in doing that, they're not really making sure it's well written.
Yeah.
So, like I say, I'm not holding it as heavily as I would, and I can actually dig this one a little bit. I mean, it's by far not not my most favorite thing I've read, even just counting on this show.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's still not great, but it's good enough. I dug the idea. I mean, it's not a terribly original idea.
No, I've seen it before.
I don't give one whit about figure skating.
Yeah. But again, like, it's just, it might just be something that the person knows. The person
exactly.
might know more than, so yeah.
Maybe they like figure skating.
Yeah.
Fine. Cool. But yeah, it's innocent.
You see an innocence in it?
Yeah, like, there's... And I feel like if this person, like, had someone telling her, like, because I'm assuming it's a woman, female, I feel like they would actually be receptive to learning as well, mm-hmm. because they seem like they're that early, and I'm not saying they know they aren't great, I'm just saying that they know they haven't written much. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I can't quite explain why I feel like this one deserves a pass, whereas other ones deserve crucifixion. But it's just...
To you, this one was better than some that we've had on the show.
Well, exactly. And again, it seems like the lack in writing ability comes from lack of experience, not mm-hmm. from lack of effort.
Yeah, lack of desire to write.
Well, lack of effort.
Yeah.
Just
okay.
Straight up lack of effort. Because a lot of the shit ones we get are just like, I'm just gonna put the words on.
That's true.
Whereas this one was trying to tell a story.
Yeah.
She just didn't do it as well as it could have been done. Well, by God, can we say that of anyone who's ever put pen to paper?
No. Exactly.
So why should I crucify this one? When at the very least... She was not, I'm gonna put words down.
Yeah. All right.
And she wrote about, she had the characters involved in figure skating. Why? Because it's what she knows.
So you write what you know.
As opposed to the 911 call, the part 2 of that. I'm gonna write about police procedure because that's not what I fucking know.
Yeah. And haven't researched.
Didn't even fucking Google it.
Yeah.
I mean,
at least that's what it seems like.
Exactly. Whereas this one wrote about what she knew. That's like rule number 1.
Yeah.
Don't write shit you don't know.
Yeah. Or if you are going to, read up on it first. Learn
then you know.
Exactly, yeah.
So you write what you know. That's actually, I think that's actually the first rule, is write what you know. But I I use that rule as don't write what you don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Because I'm a pessimist.
Fair enough.
Glasses are half empty and, people are half retarded, not half smart.
All right.
So, yeah, I recommend this one because, I don't know, like I said...
You liked it.
It's an honest attempt.
Okay.
It's not just... Someone wrote this up because she thought that people might like it. Not, I'm gonna put this on Creepypasta because it's the next Jeff the Killer. Whoa. That's not why she wrote Annora. She
wrote a creepy story for the sake of being a creepy story.
Exactly. And maybe Jeff the Killer is a bad example because that's shit, but, Annora's gonna be the next Slender Man.
Yeah.
Or, whatever.
Okay.
She wasn't trying to be the next big thing. She was just trying to have something out there.
Man, I was going to give this, a pass on it, but Like, because I didn't enjoy the writing a whole lot, but...
And that's fine. You can crucify it for that.
Fair enough. Well, okay, here, because we did have before the show started, we did have, like, you did have a comment about the wiki link page. Like, yeah, there's a screen, because this is another one of those pastas that gives us a screenshot, like, link, and it gives us a wiki, like, some external...
And as always, I think it would have been better without it. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
But really, as a wiki entry, for all of the shit that it's apparently predicted...
It doesn't have any of it on
It
there.
has, it's ridiculously short.
My one thing is, like, my one explanation is that it just gets removed every time that they refresh it. Like, so it changes.
Then that should have been in the email.
True. So.
Like, you see what I'm saying? This is why you don't have fucking add-ons to your goddamn stories. Because when you do...
Somebody's going to pick away at it.
Well, there's always something you didn't think about. There's always so much shit. Like, there's always something that you didn't think about. And, yeah, you know what? It could have been as easy a fix as, and then the next day it'd be gone.
And then that would explain the one.
It would have taken care of my little annoyance, but... Honestly, I just don't feel that I feel that stories should stand on their own, because when you add shit to a story, like an image or a video or a soundtrack or anything, you end up with things like this, where the wiki entry is just too short to have all the stuff that you've said.
You've just mentioned.
And I can say that without reading it, that it's too short.
Yeah, and I've actually read it, and it just pretty much summarizes.
Just by looking at it, it's too damn short.
Yeah.
Now, so you either end up with that, where there's a fucking obvious flaw in what you've added, or you end up with something like Jeff the Killer,
which ends up becoming an icon for all the wrong reasons.
No substance at all, but a really cool image attached to it.
Yeah, and that's what everybody kind of adores over it. And they forget to...
they forget to read the fucking thing.
Yeah. They're like,
that's what they forget to do.
Oh man, that would suck if I woke up and that face was right there. That would be really bad. It's like, man, this character's really cool. Look, it's like, but then they never read the story. And if they did, and they aren't dumb, they'd just be like, oh man, that's a shitty story. Like, this is a shitty monster. And then we wouldn't have Jeff the Killer as the second most memorable icon of creepypasta. We have something different.
Yeah.
We also wouldn't have the Jeff the Killer mythos.
Yeah, because that needed to be a thing.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's my stance on, just in general, stop attaching shit to your stories.
Okay, my again, devil's advocate for that is that this is the next generation of, like, it's the digital medium.
You know what? You know what the next generation of storytelling is? It's called moving pictures with dialogue.
We have that already.
I know. That's what I'm saying. People are trying to reinvent the wheel here.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying also it's because it's the digital format. Like, people and there's the option to have links to it and stuff. People are going to utilize that for storytelling.
Yeah, and I'm just saying that they shouldn't, or they should think carefully before they do.
Yeah,
like, does this attachment need to be there? Mm-hmm. Does it add something? Because if it doesn't add anything, like in this instance, it doesn't really add anything, and at a glance, it's flawed. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't need to be there. You
feel like the story itself, like, as a written story, like, it should just hold itself on its own. Well, which I do agree with.
And this one stands on its own better than it does with the add-on.
Yeah, because the add-on, like, you can pick holes at.
Exactly. Whereas, although I can pick holes in the story, I'm actually less inclined to, because the story was a fun little ride for me. Mm-hmm. I mean, it
as
wasn't
much as figure skating.
Like, it wasn't a great big fucking loop-de-loop, hurrah, but it was a fucking trip to the corner store.
Okay. Yep.
Whereas, like I say, I take one look at the Wikipedia page and I'm like, it's too short. So
they should have. Yeah, again, like, you poke a hole at it, it has a plot hole.
Yeah, and I don't know.
But you still recommend the story because of the story itself. No,
exactly. Okay. Because the innocence and the honesty of, at least that's what I get from the words. It was a fucking story. Not great, but worth a read.
All right. Yeah, I don't know. I like the ideas in it, but I just didn't really care for it as much. So
It wasn't hugely better than the 911 call, like the first part
yeah.
of the other story we did. Like, it wasn't immensely better than that, but it was better, in my opinion.
All right. So I guess recommendation then.
From me,
Yeah, I really don't care for it, but So, that was this week's. You can check these out. Like I said, Cryotic on YouTube, or his name's just Cry, or Cry Reads on YouTube. Does amazing job for I'm a 911 operator. I believe. What the hell is it called? There was one I listened to actually for Annora, SinisterShaf Studios or something like that. It's a YouTube channel that does it. I'll have it in the description below because I know I fucked that up. So you can check that out there. It doesn't give us any it doesn't read the screen cap of the wiki page. It just does the main story. So Leviathan would be happy for that. And it does a fairly good job. So, like we said, you can check this out at Annora. You can check out at onepagewonder.com/atnight/alone/Annora. And for I'm a 911 operator, you can check it out at Reddit, NoSleep. We'll have descriptions. We'll have links in the descriptions below wherever this gets posted, as always. You can send us comments and replies in the comment section wherever this gets posted, either on Tumblr, Facebook, YouTube. We're on iTunes, so send us a review. Let us know how we're doing. That'd be awesome. You can get a hold of us on Twitter at Dr. Leviathan or at Review Cultist. You can also send us emails at aldenterigamortis@gmail.com. That's aldenterigamortis@gmail.com. Where you can also send us suggestions for other creepypastas you'd like us to discuss on the show. And you can also, if you'd like to support us, you can donate at crazonstudios.tumblr.com. That's also where we have all the title cards for every episode. And that is it for the show. So until next time, I have been your host, Review Cultist.
And I'm still Dr. Leviathan.
And this has been Al Dente Rigamortis. Sleep well.